Welcome back to another episode of The Real Deal. Today I'm going to touch on a little something that's been going around forever, but it's getting worse and worse now, and the lamestream media covers it and puts it out there and tries to brainwash you all with it. What it is the protest out there, protest for everything. And they're usually people saying, hooray for my side. You're holding a sign. You're not trying to change the world for everybody. And the reason I bring this up is I was leaving work yesterday, Friday afternoon, and there were all these protesters out there by my work on the street corner. Don't know why or what they were doing or anything like that. So I had to drive by and see their signs. And some of their signs were very professionally made. So that tells me somebody's backing them with some money. And others were like just drawn out there. But I'm sitting there thinking to myself, why don't these people have a job? There's like 20, 30 people on there. There's one on every corner, group here and there. And it's like, don't these people have jobs? I mean, I have a job. And I'm looking at them and, they're all wearing pretty decent clothes. They're in a community which the average house there is about $400,000. And that's not an exaggeration. I'm probably a little low on that end. It's a 99% white community, and every one of them was white. They were protesting. They don't want dictators. They don't want kings. I thought we went through all that. I don't think they understand how Congress and the Senate work. Yes, the president can make an executive order on some things. Other things he can make an executive order and it gets overturned by the Supreme Court. Other things have to pass through the House and Senate. But I know they don't teach this stuff in schools anymore like they're supposed to. Anyway, there were several out there holding signs saying they want universal health care. They demand universal health care. And I'm looking at a few of them and I'm like, well, you might need some, weight loss universal health care, if you know what I'm saying. Maybe walk around while you're holding that sign. Anyway, I started thinking, I was like, well, wait a minute. I never saw these protesters when Biden was in office and we didn't have universal health care then. So why all of a sudden is that a big deal? Do y'all remember when Obamacare came out and he pushed that through and basically it was illegal except it was held up by the Supreme Court as a tax, and it was the largest tax increase in American history, and it's actually punishing the poor because if you don't have health care, you get punished and pay a fine, and most poor people have to pay that fine because they don't have it. So anyway, these people are out here doing their thing, and I'm watching people honk and support them, and I get it. They're all against President Trump, obviously. Some of the things they were saying, they were like against billionaires and stuff like that. Do you remember when everybody liked Elon Musk? Everybody on the left, they loved Elon Musk. They bought his cars. They thought he was great. I personally have never liked Musk because I know his history. I know his family's history. I know he comes from blood money. I know he is blood money. I have no respect for the guy. None. So, but they loved him. And then he started hanging out with Trump and working on the Doge, and he started saving us money. And I'm like, okay, maybe he's not so bad after all. I still don't like him, but he's got some good intentions. He's saving the taxpayers, me and you who's listening. He's saving us some money. Okay, I'm down with that. All right, good for him. And it worked. He was saving money. Then all of a sudden, because he was hanging out with Trump, nobody liked him anymore. These people were like, I don't like him. I hate him. Now he's not hanging with Trump again, and they're like confused, and they're starting to like him again. I saw some of these people, rich celebrities, selling their cars, making a video of it, and I'm sitting there going, and I get it. You're trying to make a point. You're trying to show that, you're special and you don't like this guy. I get it. I understand. And you want others to do it too. But you're a rich millionaire celebrity that's like an actor, actress. I don't even know what she was. I'd never heard of her. I had to look her up. She made a thing, put it on Twitter. So everybody's like, good for her. She gave her car to somebody, highest bidder, obviously. She paid it, got it, probably blue book for it. Well, you're rich. Why don't you just give it away? Say, I don't like Elon Musk. Here, have a free car. Give it to the poor. Give it to the homeless. And that's a big problem I have with a lot of these protesters. They're hypocrites. they don't live up to what they say they're going to do. They say, I'm against billionaires. I'm against this. I'm against the rich. Okay, well, you're living in a 99% white community of about 6,000 people. And, I mean, I know this community well. Been working over there for years. And I'm like, okay, you guys have blockbusting here. I mean, obviously. I don't know if many of you know what that is, but it's a term basically made to keep the rents high and, your housing costs high, to keep certain people out of town. Now, this town I'm talking about is not a sundown town, but a lot of areas are. In that area, a lot of those cities, towns, I can't really call them a city, although they call them that. A lot of those towns are sundown towns. And I don't know if you know what that means, but sundown town, it's got a rich history throughout America that basically blacks don't stay in a sundown town once the sun goes down. There's a reason for that. Now, I look at these protesters, and there's a group in this community. They stand out every week for an hour on Sunday, and they make a big deal of it. They have to take pictures and say, look, it's a blizzard, but we still made it. We've been doing this for years now. Okay, you give 1 hour of your time a week to stand in a majority white community, and you hold up a sign that says Free Palestine, Black Lives Matter. I'm like, okay, where are the black lives? There's not a lot in the community, sadly. And so, but they got to go. They put it on Facebook. They have their own little group. And I know these people, and I know they're living in houses worth at least $500,000. Some of them got property. If you really cared about the black community, take that hour and go into the black community. Volunteer at a soup kitchen. Help the black community. Go clean up trash off the streets. Go volunteer to work on a playground or help the kids or do something. Drive a school bus, drive a van, help their sports. Help the black community. Your sign on a street corner in a white community ain't going to change the world, cracker. It's not going to happen. That's like trying to save the trees with paperwork. That's like Queers for Palestine. That's like, hey, I'm a queer and I'm for Palestine. First of all, Palestine's not a real country. And second of all, it was always Israel's land. All they did was take it back after being kicked off it after, owning it for almost 4,000 years. But anyway, Queers for Palestine, that's like saying, hey, I'm a chicken for KFC. Hey, I'm a hamburger for Wendy's. Yay, Wendy's. No, that's stupid. But these people are hypocrites. They just talk a good game. For instance, during the Black Lives Matter movement in this town, there was a young girl, and I knew her well. Sweetheart, biracial girl. Her dad's from Africa, mom's white woman, and I knew her little brother and little sister since they were born. They're sweet girl, smart, really nice, down to earth. She got called the N-word a lot when she was hitting middle school and high school, and the school kicked these boys out for 10 days. But the boys were on the football team, and they came back. They started up again. They said they didn't do it, but all the witnesses said, yeah, they did. Mom went up to the school, and the school said, well, boys will be boys. And she's like, what the heck does that mean? And then she said, you know what? I'm pulling my daughter out of the school district. And that's probably for the best. So what they did is they moved to a more diverse community. But during the Black Lives Matter movement, that young lady came into this town with a megaphone, and she was preaching to people. And she was telling the truth, telling her story, telling it like it is. And I have a lot of respect for her for that. A lot of respect. Where a lot of people didn't like it. And I'm like, she's talking about your community. You should wake up and listen. You say Black Lives Matter. Where are they at, people? Where are they at? Get some low-income housing, or how about affordable housing? Maybe some black folks will move in there. It was really sad. It was really sad and pathetic. But she did a great job, and I was very proud of her. But these people with their signs on the street corners, they don't do that. They're not doing anything. I see people saying, from the river to the sea. And I'm like, what river and what sea are you talking about? They don't know. They're just being brainwashed. The lamestream media tells them what to think. They tell you what to think, what to feel, how to act, and you do it. Not most of the people I'm talking to, but a majority of the people out there are, I used to always say ignorant, but now I say stupid. Some of them I have to remind sometimes, hey, don't forget to breathe, because that's how stupid some of these people are. you know, and they're just doing it to make themselves look good. They don't really care about anybody else. I have never seen our society so wrapped up in selfishness. It's pathetic, man. And the political correctness. I mean, you hold the door open for a woman now, and they're like, I can hold my own door. And it's like, okay. So then I hold the door open for a man, and he's like, thank you. Okay, this man's bigger and stronger than me. But it's called being a nice person. But the political correctness has got these people too wrapped up. Here's the deal. If I don't hold the door open for her, I'm a sexist. If I hold the door open for her, who knows? I'm a misogynist. Who knows, man? Where do they come from? And that's how these protesters were the other day. And you see these protesters all over the United States. They talk about the homeless problem. Okay, do something about it. I see rich people, movie stars, billionaires. We need to help out the homeless. Do it. You got the money. You got the resources. You got the time. Freaking do it, dumbass. It's frustrating to me. And then when you get somebody that does try to do it, you know, what happens to those of us that care? We get called crazy. We get called names and we get hassled. Detroit, Michigan is the blackest city in the United States of America. I go down there all the time. I don't care what color your skin is, man. I'm not going to judge you by your skin, your religion, your sports team, none of that crap. It's not up to me to judge. But if you're a good person, you're cool. But if you treat me bad, whatever, I'm done with you. But if you treat the people I care and love about bad, look out. You're going to hear some words and see a side of me you don't want to see or hear. I will protect. That's my job. And while I'm here, I'm going to. But I was down in Detroit one day, and I go there a lot. I go into the black community. I don't care. I got a lot of black friends. I got family down there. I got black family. Not a big deal to me. I don't care. I'm not a racist. If you are, don't listen to me anymore, please. I don't need that. Not in my world. I like positive energy. But I'm down there cleaning trash up. It's a busy road, man. And it's East Detroit. It's a rougher area. And I was just cleaning up some trash I saw. I had some garbage bags and some time on my hands. And the police came. They're like, what are you doing? And I was like, and they were white. Well, go figure. White cops in an all-black city, or 85% black city, probably. Anyway, I told them what I was doing. And they're like, well, you know, this area is not too good. You probably should move along. I say, I'm not doing anything wrong. I'm not breaking any laws. My car's legally parked. I'm not hurting anybody. And they just kind of shrugged it off and made some remarks. You're just hurting yourself. I'm like, how am I hurting myself? Ain't nobody going to hurt me. Next thing I know, I got some people pulling up, black folks, and they're like, hey, man, you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine, man. I'm just cleaning up this area. It really needs it. It's like, oh, for real? And a lot of them were like, cool, thanks, man. We appreciate that. And they drive off. And then others started pulling up, asking me if I was okay. They thought I was broke down. And they parked by my car and come over there. And they said, you need some help? I'm like, sure, why not? I got more bags. And they started picking up the trash with me. And the next thing you know, there's maybe a dozen people out there. I'm the only white guy out there. And people are driving by honking, waving, throwing peace signs, thumbs up, right on, you know? Because being a positive influence like that, it picks up on people. And some of these were younger people, like maybe in their 20s. And they're like, hey, man, appreciate it, bro. It's like, no problem. That's what we're supposed to do on this world. We're supposed to help others. We're supposed to heal the world. We're supposed to be positive. And that's why I do my podcast, because I'm trying to share the information with you to wake you up and change the world for the better for everybody. There are too many hypocrites out there. Those people were so grateful. I didn't do anything, just pick up trash. We put it all in my car. I dumped it, at the dump. Didn't dump it in the neighborhoods. That'd be rude. Should have took it to the town I work in. That'd be funny. Anyway, and it's like they were grateful. People can be grateful for little things you do. I mean, somebody can find $1 and they're happy. It's $1. Might not mean much to you, but to them, that's the world, And that's what we're supposed to do on this planet. We're supposed to help one another. And I know a lot of you out there got the resources to do it. And even if you can't go pick up garbage in Detroit or some other city, even if you can't help out the people in St. Louis at the Mission, You know, there's a lot of things you can do. You can volunteer, or you can just anonymously send gifts. You can send some cash. You can write a check. Send it to the missions. People out there need help, man. Holding a sign is great. That's great. But you got to go further. Holding a sign is not going to change the world. It lets people know how you feel. But if you're going to change the world, you need to do it for everybody. So don't just get out there and hold a sign. Be the sign. Be the sign everybody wants to see. Be the positive influence out there. Don't be just a stupid protester trying to get credit and look good. Woo, I got a horn honk. Ooh, you know what? Stop with the hypocrisy. Be the real deal. That's what it's all about here with the straight truth, with the real deal. We tell it like it is. Peace and love. We're changing the world for the better. Positive vibes to everybody. You'll be hearing from me again real soon. I got a lot of things to say, man.